So yeah, as you can see from the obviously the name of the title, this is a fragrance all about kind of scenting kind of male role model attributes, certain things I think kind of build up this idea of a male role model and kind of associating them with different scents. Started by the great Tim, Smelly Swede, whose video is really brilliant and definitely go check it out. I just think it was a kind of a lovely concept and a lovely idea, and obviously it's all subjective as to what we think are good attributes, good features to have. So yeah, first for me is open-minded and modern views, modern times, an ability to kind of know what's going on in the world. What I've picked for that is obviously it's quite a groundbreaking fragrance, isn't it? And it's Dior Homme, which at the time was pretty unique, using that iris note. It's quite famous now, isn't it? And it's one of them that has a big tender side to it, doesn't it? It's not what you would have called at that time a traditionally marketed masculine fragrance. Has that softer touch, the floral touch, which obviously now we take for granted is in practically every fragrance we sniff, isn't it? But at the time it kind of fits that, and it kind of fits that concept of, you know, moving with the times, being more open-minded to things, to understand the world changes and to embrace it rather than fight it. I mean, a lot of changes that go on are because we realise really certain groups, certain peoples were treated unkindly, or, you know, or things just were different back then, not in necessarily a good way, so we move on. And I think Dior Homme is a perfect example of that. So that's the first. Next is emotionally open, emotionally confident. And what I've gone for with that would be one you consider a traditionally masculine fragrance. Traditionally, but not really. Anyone can wear this, but it's top shelf from One Way Bridge perfumes. Now I've spoken about them quite a lot, especially this one. Now this is a mix of, it's got like a bit of a dirty touch to it. It's got like quite animalic musks, maybe like a touch of civet or something in there, mixed with the obviously the sweet boozy kind of touch to it, and this kind of gorgeous pipe tobacco. And it mixes all of these because I think what it creates in our mind, like I said, is a big burly kind of lumberjack guy, hairy chest, big beard. But again, going with that kind of modern times, this guy's not a brute. He's not swinging his axe around, let's say. He's just kind of there having a laugh with his mates. He's a big cuddly guy. He'll give you a big hug and you'll have no choice about it when he's had a few whiskies, but all in a very affectionate, friendly way. And again, I think that kind of typifies that whole idea, doesn't it, really? So yeah, that's what I picked for kind of emotionally stable, emotionally open and expressive, because there's nothing wrong with showing your emotions or whatever. You know, this is the 21st century. Next, I've kind of mixed a few things together, but confident, easygoing and traditionally gentlemanly. And what I mean by that is just basically being polite, isn't it? It's not, you know, you don't have to act in any other certain way. Just be polite and considerate, such as holding a door open. You just hold a door open for a woman, would you? You'd hold a door open for anyone. And what I've picked for that is Zaharoff's signature Pour Homme, which has that kind of traditional kind of fougere touch in it, mixed with a warm resins and whatnot, and a pinch of oud and stuff. And why I picked that particular one, because again it's this mixture of the kind of classic traditional kind of view and feel mixed with a kind of modern attitude, isn't it? Like I say, being a gentleman doesn't make you a misogynist or a sexist. It makes you kind of a polite, open guy. And I've said this one reminds me of my dad. He's this kind of mix of the two. He's very kind of laid back, open-minded, but he's very polite and very quietly spoken when needs to be, not always. A bit rough around the edges like his son. So yeah, that's a Zaharoff signature pour-on for that one. So next up is warm. Like someone who's just fun to be around, you know, not standoffish, kind of comfortable in their own skin. I think this one kind of overlaps with the others, but I think it gives off a kind of, somebody who gives off an aura of warmth, you know, somebody you want to approach, somebody who seems friendly and is kind of bit kind of outgoing, confident, you know, someone you want to be in the pub with, have a laugh with, you know, that kind of warmth. And I think one for that is Bouquet Encore from La Costa Perfumes. The reason I've kind of picked that is it's one of the few fragrances I like with a massive heavy dose of pepper, and it's got all the kind of the sweet of the tuberose, and to me that orange blossom feel, that kind of sunset kind of vibe about it, but it's the pepper that gives it that lift, that makes it one of them that you want to actually get close to, I think, as well. And it just, maybe if you were going down that traditional path, that pepper adds that bit of a kind of more traditional masculine kind of thing to it. I think it's a, you know what I mean, it's got that little bit of yeah, again, I always see beards. I don't know why I see beards with warm people and stuff. Don't have one at the moment myself, but anyway, yeah, it just gives off this warmth and approachability, still with a sweetness, a bit of fun, a bit of kind of passion and enjoyment there. So for warmth is Bouquet Encore from La Costa de Parfum. And the final one, come on, this fragrance was always going to be in here somehow, wasn't it? Is Dew Pomme, and what I've gone for that is kind of a sense of humour and humility, a kind of openness and again approachableness about being able to laugh at yourself, have a joke, have other people have jokes with you. Do you know what I mean? Not to be too cocky, not to be too arrogant, not to be too get offended if somebody has a bit of a gentle, warm joke with you, or you know, if you make a mistake or a cock up, then you're able to laugh it off. Just you don't take yourself so seriously and what have you. And again, Dew Pomme, I mean, for a lot of us was our party scent back in the day. It's a very fun fragrance, and again, nobody takes it too seriously. I think it's one of the greatest fragrances out there, but it's no masterpiece, is it? It's not the most brilliant fragrance ever made. And you know, there's a lot of jokes made about that. People kind of poke fun at it, criticise it. But I think, what does Dupe care? Dupe has a bit of a laugh with it. Really, it's just, you're just jealous. You just want to be me. You just want to be as iconic as Dupe. And I think that humility and sense of humour is a really important attribute for like someone who's a male role model. I hope that's one of the things my nephews and nieces take from me, is the fact that I can be serious when I need to be, but at the end of the day, don't take life so seriously. It's too short. So that's Dew Pomme for humour and humility. This video doesn't really do justice to Tim's kind of idea. Again, it's been hard to get out and film, shouldn't complain, but the rain and the wind, you can probably still hear, there's probably still too much wind in the background, sadly. But yeah, it's been quite brief, and it's been quite a kind of good look at it. So I'm going to tag some people in the comments or wherever, Again, no obligation, but what about you? What do you think kind of good way to scent these attributes of a good male role model? Obviously we all see the idea of this in a different way, and it's it's not taboo to talk about masculinity and things like that. There's no reason why somebody couldn't do it about feminine role models or non-binary models or just people role models. It's just this one specifically from Tim was male role models, and it's not something I talk about too much. But yeah, it's just a bit of fun, a bit of an interesting one, and a bit makes you think, doesn't it? Alright, so thanks folks.